Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Lords of the Night. With me, as always, is the Lord of Pain, Ranting Monkey,
Hello.
and the Lord of Pennies, Satsu 2 cents.
What up, now?
And I'm your host, the Lord of Punishment, Scribe Light. Hello, everyone. Hello, chat. Hope everyone's having a good week so far. Thank you to everyone who retweeted and shared the stream. Those of you just showing up, you too can retweet and share the stream. Let's see. What was I going to say? I don't know what I was going to say, but Satsu, how are you?
Pretty good. I spent most of the day with Squishy, and we got a lot of stuff done. So there you go.
Good. Monkey, how are you?
Cold and tired. How are you?
I am comfortable and a little yawny. Not the pianist, but yeah, kind of yawny. The time change and getting up as early as I have. I mean, my body still thinks I'm getting up at 3 a.m. rather than 4 a.m., which I know for a lot of you might seem like, hairs of degrees difference, but it throws you off quite a bit for a little while. So, yeah. Otherwise, I'm good. Let's see. There was something I was going to say, and like everything else today, it's escaped my mind. So if it comes back to me, it's because it was important. In the meantime, Monkey Dick, Jim Jones, movies, video games, hit that like button if you have not already, and 2/3 of you have not. So get on that, guys. And as I not implied, but said directly before, please share our stuff. Share it far and wide. YouTube is lousy at letting a lot of people know that either we exist, or that our new stuff is out when it's out, or that our live streams are live when they're live. So you guys are our best megaphone for letting people know out there that we exist and there's stuff going on. Same goes for just about any creator that you like out there, because the efforts on YouTube's part to actually help out their own creators is dwindling by the week, it seems. So we all appreciate your loyalty and your assistance in that regard. Thank you, Terry Diamantis. For the benefit of anyone who didn't get a notification, the stream has started.
Well done, Terry.
Thank you, Terry. So everybody who's here, just to let you know, the stream has started. Let's see. Tonight's not a streaming night for you guys, is it?
I'll let you guys know at YouTube time for sure, because we said we were going to stream tonight.
Oh, okay.
But I gotta check on something around that time, so I will let you guys know for sure.
Okay. Well, we'll check back in on YouTube time, but until then, if there's nothing else, we can get into the wonderful world of schnooze.
Schnooze.
So, per my very clever title, quite the story dropped this afternoon.
Oh.
Quite unexpected, very pervasive, and if I read the little bits and pieces correctly that I did, without reading the whole story, it was actually an event that was not planned, in the sense that it was a criminal case that was accidentally happened upon because of a different criminal case. But let's see if we can cover it. A winemaker, a test proctor, and a CEO. These are the people involved in the alleged scam. What scam, do you ask? Well, let's find out. Dozens of parents, including famous actresses, college coaches, and a winemaker, were charged in an alleged conspiracy to get students, into top colleges, according to a federal criminal complaint. Here is a look at some of the 50 accused people. Federal prosecutors say a Newport Beach, California business owner conspired with others to have students fraudulently accepted as purported sports recruits. William Rick Singer of Newport Beach, California, owns and operates Edge College and Career Network LLC, which is a for-profit college counseling and preparation business. Singer, 58, also served as the CEO of Key Worldwide Foundation, a nonprofit corporation that he established as a purported charity. I should also say that CNN used two A's there. They say AA nonprofit corporation. Who wrote this story? Darren, D-A-R-R-A-N, Darren Simon. Okay. Good job, Darren. You should get to Chris Saliza to edit your stuff first. Singer pleaded guilty Tuesday in a Boston federal courtroom to racketeering, conspiracy, money laundering, tax conspiracy, and obstruction of justice. The businessman is one of the cooperating witnesses mentioned throughout the complaint, according to a law enforcement source. Quote, I created a side door that would guarantee families would get in, Singer told the judge. I was bribing coaches for a spot, and that occurred very frequently. All right, now here's where we get to the juicy stuff. Actress Felicity Huffman and her spouse, quote, made a purported charitable contribution of $15,000 to Key Worldwide Foundation to participate in the college entrance exam cheating scheme on behalf of her oldest daughter, the complaint said. She later, quote, made arrangements to pursue the scheme a second time for her younger daughter before deciding not to do so. The Academy Award nominee, the Academy Award nominee been charged. Been charged. Been charged, Joe. Not has been charged, just been charged. Fucking CNN. Okay. The Academy Award nominee been charged with felony conspiracy to commit mail fraud and honest services mail fraud, according to court paperwork filed Monday in federal court in Massachusetts. A law enforcement source confirms to CNN that the actress has been arrested in Los Angeles. In addition, actress Lori Loughlin, star of Full House and Fuller House, and her husband, fashion designer Massimo Gianlulli, I don't know how to say that, have been charged with conspiracy to commit mail fraud and honest services mail fraud. Gianulli allegedly agreed to pay bribes totaling $500,000 in exchange for having their two daughters designated as recruits to the USC crew team, despite the fact that they did not participate in crew, thereby facilitating their admission to USC. The complaint includes alleged emails between a cooperating witness and Gianulli, in which the two discussed a game plan for his older daughter, whose, quote, academic qualifications were at or below the low end of USC's admission standards. Loughlin herself wrote at least one email discussing their younger daughter and her admission. Gianulli and Loughlin were recorded on calls with a cooperating witness discussing an IRS audit being done on the business involved in the alleged scam, and that if ever asked, Loughlin would say they made a donation to the foundation, quote, end of story, unquote. Loughlin is on a flight to Los Angeles where she is expected to surrender later this afternoon, according to a law enforcement source. Full House, going to the big house.
What a shit show.
San Francisco resident Augustin Huneus Jr., who owns vineyards in Napa, California, and elsewhere, conspired to, quote, bribe senior athletic director Donna Heinel and Jovan Vavic, the USC water polo coach, to facilitate his daughter's admission to USC as a purported water polo recruit. Huneus has been charged with conspiracy to commit mail fraud and honest services mail fraud. Heinel and Vavic are accused of conspiracy to commit racketeering. Other parents in the alleged scam include the CEO of a Los Angeles-based boutique marketing firm who, quote, agreed to make a purported charitable donation of $50,000 to Key Worldwide in exchange for having a cooperating witness take the ACT on behalf of her son.
Wow.
Another defendant is a Greenwich, Connecticut resident who is an attorney at a New York international law firm. The attorney paid a, quote, purported charitable donation of $75,000 to Key Worldwide. A cooperating witness arranged for the director of college entrance exam A cooperating witness arranged for the director of college entrance exam preparation at a private school in Bradenton, Florida, to purport to proctor the attorney's daughter's ACT exam and, quote, correct the answers after she had completed it.
That is amazing.
Other parents include the founder and chairman of a packaging company for the food and beverage industry who lives in Aspen, Colorado, and New York. He and his wife are charged with conspiracy to commit mail fraud and honest services mail fraud. Coaches at Yale, Stanford, USC, Wake Forest, and Georgetown are among those implicated in the alleged conspiracy. According to the complaint, another parent, quote, conspired to bribe Heinel, the USC senior associate athletic director, to designate his daughter as a basketball recruit in order to get her into the university. This is nuts, guys.
Why didn't they do it the legal way and just donate big to the university?
Thank you, Sanguine. CNN is really trying to be the halfway between the BBC Pigeon and proper English news. Also, how is it news that the rich buy their way into university? Well, like Monkey said, there's the legal way, and then there's the wire fraud way.
Yeah, because, well, even if you buy your way into university, your kid is usually like competent. You know what I mean? Like smart enough to be able to pass that test on their own. At the very least, you just guarantee that they get in with the payment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if your kid's a fucking jackass, no matter how much you pay, like they're gonna be like, yeah, your kid's dumb as fuck. So
yeah, and honestly, you're assisting your children to cheat. What benefit does that do them? I mean, now most of these people are probably not going to actually do jail time. They'll probably end up doing some kind of fine or probation or whatever else. But yeah, all those people that facilitated those kids getting into the college unfairly, fired, in my opinion. Fire them all.
Mm-hmm.
And each one of those schools is going to have to do a deep dive on all of their teachers, admissions, powers, and everything else. They're going to have to do a complete revision of the gatekeeping to what is and is not an acceptable applicant to the college. Yeah, the ramifications of this are going to keep going for years, but this is nuts. Now, I don't remember exactly what it was, but they were investigating some completely separate crime that then led into this by accident. So they weren't even looking for some kind of like college entrance conspiracy, but they just stumbled upon it or something. So.
Ain't that a bitch?
Yeah. Now, of course, I'll be curious to see the arguments condemning all this and those that still support affirmative action processes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, Duck Dog says, Scribe, it's only wire fraud if it crosses state lines.
No.
No, it's not.
If it's over the phone.
Yeah, I mean, if I call somebody across the street and I sell them a bridge in New York, that's wire fraud. So anyway, so that was the big super duper breaking story here, and it'll go on. It's ongoing. I say just imagining like the mom from Full House is now going to have a felony criminal conviction for wire fraud.
Wait, there was a mom in that show?
Well, no, she was Aunt Becky.
Well, Aunt Becky. I mean, she eventually became a mom. You know?
Oh,
yeah. So anyway, in international news.
Well, real quick.
Yes.
They mention Huffman. Is Macy at all in trouble for this?
Who?
Felicity Huffman's married to William H. Macy.
She is?
Yeah, they've been married for a long time.
Oh, well, no, he wasn't mentioned in the story.
Huh.
So
wonder how he feels about his wife right now.
Yeah, I know, right?
Okay.
He probably like, bitch, you going to jail.
Yeah, I was just they did a show together way back a long time ago called Sports Night. Yeah, they were even married way back then. They've been together a long time. They're a long time Hollywood couple.
Oh, okay. I don't. There's only so many Hollywood couples I keep tabs on, but there you go. Random American says, did Mueller discover this while investigating Trump Scribe Light? Hey, could be. I don't know. But anyway, so speaking of epic failures, how about Theresa May?
Oh, boy.
So I think, what is it, the third or fourth time? Theresa May's Brexit deal rejected overwhelmingly by UK lawmakers.
Again?
I mean, they might as well have just like cut and pasted the articles from the previous attempt. Let's see, where do we go? This is one of those running blog things. I got to go down to where it actually happened. No, not that. Okay. So who voted for what? A total of 75 conservative lawmakers from Theresa May's party rebelled to reject her Brexit deal, according to figures published on the UK's parliamentary website. For a full breakdown of how MPs voted tonight, 4 Conservatives, 235, Labour 3, Independent 4. Against, Conservative 75, Labour 238, Scottish National Party 35, Liberal Democrats 11, Democratic Unionist Party 10, Plaid Cymru, I don't know what that means, 4, Independent 17, and Green Party 1. If you'll notice the against, I listed off almost entire swaths of the parliament that weren't even present for the 4. So I don't know what the, can't do the math in my head, but that's a lot more than the 4. I don't know if it's as much as the epic fail that happened the last time that was so historic, but it's pretty bad. So what happens next? Lawmakers have soundly rejected Theresa May's Brexit deal for a second time. So what happens next? Let's see. March 12th, Parliament votes on May's deal. It loses. Well, it did lose. They have a flow chart. So if it lost on March 13th, Parliament votes on no deal. All right. Okay. It loses again. Okay. So on March 29th, so let me get this straight. So it lost, right? Mm-hmm. So now Parliament votes on no deal. So they vote whether or not to have a deal or not, I guess. If the vote to have no deal wins, then everything stops until March 29th and the UK leaves the EU without a deal. If voting without a deal loses, then on March 14th, Parliament votes on delaying Brexit. If delaying Brexit wins, then on March 21st, May requests a delay to Brexit at an EU summit. What happens after that? Nobody knows. But if that March 14th vote fails, then we go straight back to everything falls apart on the 29th. So there's still several steps to go in whatever the ultimate decision is, but a lot of options are leaning towards it's just all going to fall apart on the 29th without a deal. But we will find out how that proceeds tomorrow, and then after that, if necessary, on the 14th. So there you go. I wonder if Irate Bear or one of our British friends is available right now to give us their input. Chat, if there's anybody of our across the pond friends are present who might be listening, make yourselves known, and if you're willing to come on for a little bit and talk to us about what's going on the ground, let us know. But in more local news, do you remember the cure-all to anti-Semitism in America?
So-called cure-all.
Well, calling Anne Frank's stepsister.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, high school is plastered with swastikas after a Holocaust survivor's visit.
So it worked.
Flyers with Nazi swastikas were posted at a California school just days after a Holocaust survivor shared her firsthand horrors with students who had posted anti-Semitic photographs during a party. Were they really anti-Semitic photographs, or was it just a gag of shaping cups into a swastika? I don't know. 10 flyers were discovered at Newport Harbor High School on Sunday morning. 10. Just 10. Okay. Police were called and the flyers were removed. While posting the flyers is not a crime. Wait. While posting the flyers is not a crime, Newport Beach police are investigating.
Investigating what?
Yeah. Okay. School principal Sean Bolton said in a statement, quote, "Again, we condemn all acts of anti-Semitism and hate in all their forms. We will continue to be vigilant with our stance and the care of our students and staff," unquote. But one senior at the school, Max Drakeford, called the latest episode, quote, "super disheartening, a step backward." What do you mean, but? How? If you say but, that means that it's going to be something in opposition to what you previously said, but it's not. It goes along with it. What? You're setting up false expectations, CNN. Or I should say Stephanie Becker at CNN. Drakeford, whose grandmother survived the Holocaust, said the posters, quote, "send a message that we aren't welcome at our own school," unquote.
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't. It's people just being trolls. And
well, what gets me is the kids who did it, you had to go there and have them explain to them what it means. Now, we can argue whether or not they knew what it mean or not, but let's just say that they are telling the truth. You feel threatened by somebody who is doing something that they do not even understand. Like, it doesn't make any sense. That's like if a little kid like flips you off because little kids can't control their hands and their middle finger just like goes up. You're like, oh my God, that kid, I'm going to fucking throw a brick at him. He just scared the fuck out of me. He did that gesture at me. That's so dangerous. I didn't know what to do. Like, come on. Don't be a fucking...
Katrina Foley, mayor of the neighboring city of Costa Mesa, where the party was held, said she felt there was a sinister motive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
felt.
Yeah, the sinister motive was to keep poking at your tender spot to get a reaction out of you. That's it. And the cops are investigating a non-crime. Excuse me. Quote, that tells me there is a small group of people who want to intimidate students from speaking out. Oh, I'm sure that's what it is, and it'll totally work too. We should not allow that to happen. Okay, Stephanie Becker, you have to close your quote with close quotes. It's not a continuation into, yeah, okay. We should not allow that to happen, she told CNN's Sarah Snyder. No close quote. They are trying to intimidate an entire community from speaking out.
But y'all are speaking out right now.
The giant red Solo Cup swastika did not stop a Holocaust survivor from going and talking to those teenagers.
Yeah.
These 10 flyers are not stopping you from talking to CNN. Nothing they are doing is stopping you from speaking. Now, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
I was on a rant, but you go ahead.
Not only that, they were minding their business where they were, and y'all are coming to them. Like I'm so confused. Like I wish I had the power to just look at something and be like, I feel like that is about me. I need to start a movement about it. And people actually took me seriously because, man, I could take advantage of so much shit.
Yeah, it's kids taking advantage of your outrage to just get more outrage.
Yep.
And if posting those flyers is not a crime, what are you going to do if you find them? Or the people that posted them? What are you going to do? I don't know. So I don't know. I mean, short of them putting up things like, weird, like death threats or inciting a riot or something, or some kind of directed, like I say, threat or something, I don't know what to tell you. Flyers with swastikas on them, while distressing, aren't going to stop you from doing anything unless you choose to. So,
yeah. And if they're the type who wants to silence you or wants to harm you in any way, so would you feel better if they're like, we still want to silence you, we still want you dead, but we won't put any flyers up anymore? Do you feel safer now? Like, not going to change anything.
Thank you, Chicago Mike. I love when Scribe starts grading a CNN article. They force me into it, Mike. They force me, and I'm not some kind of English expert. Okay, I got an English degree, but I'm not an English teacher. I will make no claims as being an expert of the English language or punctuation or anything else. But there are some things that are pretty obvious, things that you would think would be more obvious. And okay, just as a tangent, when I write a tweet, okay, and I see afterwards that I wrote too quickly, I typed too quickly, and I made a mistake, I cringe. I hate it when I don't at least read what I've written well enough before I post it or publish it or whatever else. I hate that. I always correct myself. I put a little asterisk and put whatever my correction is. At least these guys are getting paid for this. This is their profession. This is their career. I mean, I reread everything I write at least twice, and I still end up posting things with mistakes on it just because I'm human. I go back and correct them if I can. I don't understand why these guys aren't reading their own stuff after they posted it, even if they make a mistake. Okay, everybody's human. Why I catch them 4 hours after they've been posted boggles me. Boggles me. Thank you, Frosted Glass. So is Miss Frank a vigilante now? Hashtag and Frank Castle. No. And I don't think she's her last name's Frank. I forget what it is, but she's the stepsister. So anyway, from that on to something that sounds funnier than it probably is. Or it might be. A Georgia lawmaker proposes the Testicular Bill of Rights in objection to an abortion bill moving through the state legislature.
Mm-hmm.
Your balls have rights, monkey.
You do.
And even Satsu's dull ball has rights.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, not your shiny one.
All balls treated equally.
A Georgia lawmaker is proposing a law that would make it an, quote, aggravated assault, unquote, for men to have sex without a condom and would require men to obtain permission from their sexual partner before seeking a prescription for Viagra or similar erectile dysfunction drugs.
Just your body, your choice bullshit.
Uh-huh.
Beautiful.
Democrat.
I'm sorry. In chat, they asked if they lost me. No, I just read something on Twitter that's really pissed me off. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That means fucketry is going to be entertaining tonight.
I'm a little pissed right now.
Democratic Minority Whip Darshun Kendrick announced her, quote, testicular Bill of Rights, unquote, in a tweet on Monday, noting she'd instructed an aide to draft a bill. Oh, you didn't write it yourself? Couldn't be bothered? Okay.
Can I have this article?
Yeah, it's monkey. I'm putting it in the chat now just so everybody can enjoy it. Among her other proposals are requirements for DNA testing at the 6th week of pregnancy to determine paternity, as well as we have to have somebody to compare them against. Oh, wait, am I making implications? Sorry. As well as requirements for the father to make immediate child support payments. It would also ban vasectomy procedures in the state. Lady, you're nuts.
Oh, keep going.
Yeah. Finally, her bill would also introduce a 24-hour waiting period for men to buy any porn or sex toys in Georgia. So you're going to put sex toys and porn on the same sort of cautionary level as guns. Except the guns, I think it's like 48 hours or 36 hours or something. Well, that depends on the state, I suppose. She highlighted the proposal during a radio interview on Georgia Public Broadcasting on Tuesday afternoon. Quote, if the state of Georgia is going to be concerned with regulating women's reproductive rights, I think it's only fitting that we also do that for men's reproductive rights, she said, adding that her proposal, quote, really is to draw attention to what I think is an absurdity.
Well, she needs to add in there something then. She's missing something.
Well, hold on. Let me read what she's protesting here so we can get the contrast. Kendrick's idea comes after Georgia's House of Representatives passed a, quote, heartbeat bill, unquote, on Thursday that would ban abortions after the 6th week of pregnancy. That bill now moves to the Republican-controlled state Senate and has the support of Georgia Governor Brian Kemp, who called the bill a powerful moment, quote, to give all Georgians, including the unborn, a good chance to live, grow, and prosper. Kendrick acknowledged vasectomy requirements or waiting times to buy sex toys are a, quote, tongue-in-cheek response. Okay, lady, why are you wasting everybody's time then? I mean, if the bill said something like, we're going to require that all hysterectomies be banned in the state, or all what is it called? Tubular libations or ligations, however you call it.
Ligation, yeah.
Yeah, ligations. All those are. I mean, if they had proposed that and you proposed the whole, vasectomy thing, okay, tit for tat, one-on-one, okay, but you're wasting everybody's time. You sent your aide out to draft this bill with a bunch of tongue-in-cheek. Do you want to be taken seriously or not?
No.
And what would be the one-for-one comparison to preventing abortion at the 6th week of pregnancy in a man? Right? Let's see. Her bill doesn't have a chance, but she's making a point, says the article. Kendrick, who is now in her 5th House term, missed the Georgia General Assembly's deadline for filing legislation that can pass during the 2019-2020 session. So this is entirely a waste of time.
It is. It's a really fucking stupid way to be. See, they're telling us what we can do with our body. That bill, even if you disagree with it, even if you think abortion should be legal right up to the time the baby's head pops out, all of your choices until you get pregnant are still yours.
Yep.
Every fucking one of them. Stop acting like they're saying, oh, you got to be held down and inseminated. Oh God, fuck you.
Well, it's interesting that all of the things that she's proposing, even in her tongue-in-cheek bill, are all things that occur before or unrelated to the actual act of sex.
Yeah.
And hold the man responsible for the consequences of sex, whereas nothing in that abortion bill holds women accountable for the consequences of sex up until the point of 6 weeks before, 6 weeks into pregnancy or whatever it is.
That's what I was saying before when I read that article I was telling you guys about, when they were like, men are 100% responsible for women being pregnant, but they have absolutely zero say in anything that happens when a woman gets pregnant. I'm like, yeah, both of those at the same time? All right, cool.
Diesel Dave, I've got something to put in her cheek. She needs to shut up. That's misogynistic.
We also have a birthday. I'm not meaning to stifle conversation on this because this is interesting, but remind me we have a birthday here.
Okay, Monkey, there's a birthday.
Yeah. I'm so tired of this argument from abortion supporters. Like, well, we don't tell men what they can do. By the way, there are several states where in order to get a vasectomy, you have to have your wife's permission. Did y'all know that? Where women literally have control over a man's body.
Yep.
This is why we need to pass the Equal Rights Amendment right now.
I agree. But I'm so tired here. They're taking away our choice. No, you have tons of choices. Tons of them. I was watching Crowder's Change My Mind. They did a third abortion one. And he says he's going to release more of it, but the one he released the other day, it's just one girl who eventually, you know, she comes out and admits that she had an abortion, and it was because she's not in a good time in her life to have a baby. And he's like, that's an abortion for convenience. And she's like, no, it's not. No, it's not. Like, yes, it is.
That's exactly
like, well, I can't afford to have a baby. I'd be so poor. And like, well, couldn't you get a condom? And her answer is the same. Everybody, well, condoms never work. Condoms always break. There's always problems with if condoms worked as little as we're told they are, they would have been pulled from the fucking market a long time ago. She could have got on the pill. There's so many things she could have done. And well, if I got on the pill, it would have changed my hormones. Like, okay, you could have sucked the dick instead. You have all kinds of choices. Stop pretending like women are fucking abused in our society. You're not. You have more choices than anybody else. And you bitch because people are like, don't kill a baby. Hi, honey. How are you? Okay, I love you.
Lady monkey.
She opened the door right at that moment.
Yeah, you're not being abused. Hi, honey.
I'm just so tired of hearing it. All of this bullshit. Look, sweetie, if you want to say, hey, I want to do a bill to actually make this for the first 12 weeks, that would be something that's a legitimate argument you can have.
Sure.
If you believe in abortion, like, look, up to 12 weeks is a better idea. Whatever. I don't give a fuck. But stop making it that men are just controlling women's bodies. Shut the fuck up. You're wrong.
Thank you, Lamented Guide. She could put the baby up for adoption.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah. She could put the baby up for adoption while men don't have such an ability to give up their parental responsibilities.
That was the other thing. Crowder tells her, look, you could have put this baby up for adoption. And she's like, do you know how many people are in the foster care system right now? Like, that's not the same thing. That's not the same thing.
Thank you, Nope. For the record, Crowder didn't suggest that she suck a dick.
No, that was a monkey original.
Monkey original.
I wish somebody would actually bring that up, though, because I would be curious if somebody who's dead serious about, abortion rights and everything, and somebody said, look, here's the thing. I am willing to say that women have 100% of the choice, no questions asked, no matter what. Like, no matter what the scenario is or how she got pregnant or who else was involved, she has 100% of this decision whether to keep it. But the man gets to decide whether or not he is going to support you. No questions asked. He has 100%. That's 100% his choice. Both you and the government have nothing to do with it. And I want to see what their honest, genuine answer would be to that. Like somebody who is like seriously saying like, I want this to be our choice. And they're like, okay, it will be 100%, but this is what you have to give up. And they'll be like, oh, well, no, because We want control of our lives, but we also want control of theirs.
All right. Well, birthday monkey, you say?
Yeah, Asian hippie, I believe it was.
Oh.
If he could make me happier by having us sing him a birthday song and annoy Satsu. He says, "Can I have a birthday song to cheer up Monkey and annoy Satsu?" Absolutely, my friend. Asian hippie. Asian hippie's been with us a long time too. I like that we're at a point now that we can look at some of these names. They've been with us a long fucking time.
Yeah, Asian hippie, almost to a one. He's one of the first people usually to comment on most of my videos. So Asian hippie, yeah.
Asian hippies, good people, and I don't usually like hippies, man, because they don't bathe. But he's Asian, so he probably does. What would an Asian hippie look like? We need we need Jordan to get on that. Anyway,
all right.
Asian hippie, I understand it's your birthday, and I'm gonna do my best not to scream through this song because I'm a little pissed off right now.
Oh my god!
So, Asian hippie, this one. You know what? I'm gonna have to stop for a second because I was about to do it in like an Asian voice, and that's probably wrong, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we won't do that.
You're not the governor of West Virginia, are you?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
But Asian hippie, this one is for you, sir. And a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
What did I do to deserve this?
Happy birthday to Asian hippie.
I hate all of your faces.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Asian hippie. I hope you had a good one. I really do. Somebody said Asian hippie equals not a doctor. Oh, that's fucked up. Yeah, happy birthday, bud.
All right. The Avro Wolf says, "It is my pre-birthday today, Scribe Light." Well, then be sure to tell us tomorrow, I guess.
We'll have one in the chamber for tomorrow.
There you go. All right, guys, on to MSS News. If you have news stories you'd like us to read on the air, please send them to us via Twitter using the hashtag MSS News. Can't promise to get to them all, but that's only because Monkey's really heated up about abortion. With that, this one comes from Massive Dynamics. Ohio police officer helps lure runaway pig into his car with pizza. Okay. This little piggy may have run away, but all it took was an Ohio officer offering up some leftover pizza to get him back home. It was not immediately clear if he went wee all the way there. Now, here's the real question. Was there ham on that pizza? The Xenia, if I'm saying that right, police department shared on Facebook video of the unique Saturday encounter, which began when the pig, named Wilbur, became separated from his family. Quote, "Every day is an adventure here at Xenia PD," the department wrote. The department said it had been a couple of years since they had to deal with runaway swine, but Officer Dan Smith was tasked with trying to bring Wilbur back home. Smith used some leftover pizza in order to coax the pig towards his police vehicle before using a, quote, little muscle, unquote, to finally get him inside. The department said that Wilbur was, quote, taken into custody without being injured and was eventually reunited with his family. What was on the pizza? That's what I want to know. What was on the pizza? Was there any pork sausage there? Any ham? Pineapple?
Pigs will eat anything.
I know. I learned that from Hannibal.
Ah, true. Yeah.
This one comes from Diesel Dave. Let's see. Let's go up. Pittsburgh to Philadelphia Hyperloop, a step closer to reality. Now, you guys have watched or know of Thunderfoot, yes?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you know, depending on if he's talking about politics, it can go either way. But when he's talking about science, I tend to give him a bit more, let's say, trust in some things, especially when he breaks it down in physics and such. He's done several videos on the feasibility of the Hyperloop, given how it's described to work versus how it would actually need to work. He's so far convinced me that it's a bad idea and not a feasible concept. So when I read stories like this, I get curious as to whether or not it'll actually ever work. Imagine being able to get to Philadelphia in half an hour from Pittsburgh. The Pennsylvania Turnpike Commission has awarded a $2 million contract for a consultant to look into what it would take to make that a reality. Oh, so you're not actually building anything. You're paying a guy $2 million to look into it. I want that job. Pennsylvania has begun reviewing tech billionaire Elon Musk's Hyperloop concept. On the Hyperloop, pods take passengers through massive underground tubes at speeds over 700 miles per hour. Our news partners at the Post-Gazette say the Turnpike Commission and Department of Transportation were ordered to do the study by the State House last year. The study will also look at the environmental impact and possible route linking Pittsburgh to Harrisburg and Philly. Thunderfoot's done far, far more extensive research on these things, but the one part about the Hyperloop that continues to make me go, that doesn't sound like it's going to work, is that in order for this thing to conceivably operate, the entire tube has to be in a constant state of vacuum so that the things can move as fast as they're supposed to, right? Oil pipelines and how, stable those things are and how fragile they are. Okay, so if at any point along this giant pipe there is a fracture or a breach of the pipe or things shift slightly and the vacuum is unsustainable, you can conceivably kill anybody coming through that thing. So I still don't quite understand how they're going to maintain a constant vacuum in this miles-long tube at every juncture, at every seam, at every bolt. Yeah.
Have you seen Elon? Oh, sorry. Diesel Dave has one there for you.
Thank you, Diesel Dave. Scribe, I trust Elon Musk more. Well,
he's got one of these things kind of working. It runs 4 miles or something like that.
Yeah, kind of. That's why you got to go watch those Thunderfoot videos on that, because he's done. That's mainly what he was focusing his analysis on.
Well, Elon Musk has the idea that the way to do this is all to go underground, which would help with the sealing process. Because most of our pipelines we don't actually put underground because when they do break, we don't want them to leak. But yeah, damn it, Chadwick! First earthquake, it's over. Yeah, there's a lot of problems to it. So this kind of stuff fascinates me because it's the real future rather than flying cars. Sorry, people.
Yeah, well, until I'm shown otherwise, it sounds like a great idea and concept, except that, like solar roadways, it doesn't work in practice.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Who knows? I'm still waiting for my moon base, which we know is possible. We don't have to guess about that. Anyway, let's see. This one comes from Frosted Glass. Think Progress. Oh boy, what's this? Black and Latinx Americans suffer more from dirty air.
Oh.
Wait.
No.
Wait.
You should read it.
But the EPA is charging ahead with rollbacks. A new study finds that Black and Latinx Americans bear the burden for air pollution generated by their white counterparts.
Now, I'm going to spoiler alert. I read this last night. I hope this article tells you how they came up with this idea or their methodology, because it is dumber than you would imagine.
Well, they have a link to this new study. So rather than read the article, let me jump over to the study real quick. Let's see if they tell us what their methodology was. Okay, so this is from the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences, pnas.org. Significance: racial, ethnic disparities in pollution exposure and in consumption of goods and services in the United States are well documented. Some may find it intuitive that, on average, Black and Hispanic minorities, Hispanic? I'm sorry, the term is Latinx.
Latinx.
Black and Hispanic minorities bear a disproportionate burden from the air pollution caused mainly by non-Hispanic whites. But this effect has not previously been directly established, let alone quantified. Oh, so this is a first of its kind study. Okay. Our pollution inequity metric is generalizable to the other pollution types and provides a simple and intuitive way of expressing a disparity between the pollution that people cause and the pollution to which they are exposed. Our results are timely given public debate on issues relating to race, equity, and the regulation of pollution. Okay, abstract. Fine particulate matter. I'm going to try that again. Fine particulate matter air pollution exposure is the largest environmental health risk factor in the United States.
Sorry about that.
I thought heart disease was. Oh well, maybe that's not an environmental factor. Here we link particulate matter exposure to the human activities responsible for particulate matter pollution. We use these results to explore pollution inequity, the difference between the environmental health damage caused by a racial ethnic group, okay, and the damage that group experiences. We show that in the United States, particulate matter exposure is disproportionately caused by consumption of goods and services mainly by the non-Hispanic white majority, but is disproportionately inhaled by Black and Hispanic minorities.
Now, when they say it's caused by that, what do you think?
I'm trying to find what their methodology is here.
So is this just a really complicated way of saying that white people are farting and like fanning it towards brown people?
No, that actually makes more sense.
Thank you, Sarah Plyer. So now air is racist. Got it. Yeah. Okay. Materials and methods. We'll go a little later into MSS News, guys. This is fascinating. Environmentally extended economic input-output analyses have been used to track air pollutant and greenhouse gas emissions induced by economic demand within and among national economies. Fewer studies have reported air quality-related health impacts induced by domestic and international trade. Here, we explore relationships among human end-use activities in the United States, particulate matter-related health impacts caused by those activities, the corresponding consumption exposure inequity among race ethnicity groups, and related temporal trends.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. EEI. Okay. EEI. Wait. No. Wait. Okay. So we refer to the model as the Extended In-Map Economic Input-Output Model, or EIEIO.
Oh,
yeah.
My God.
Okay. I can't tell if this is all a Poe now or if that's just...
No, this is real.
Okay. Now I'm going to have to say this every time. EIEIO uses economic data to trace human end-use activities that directly and indirectly cause air pollutant emissions and the resulting human exposure to particulate matter. The model tracks relationships between final end users. You're talking about people breathing the air. Final end users are human beings.
No. Keep going.
Okay. The activities or end uses they are participating in, or final demand for commodities and economic input-output terminology that induce air pollution emissions, and the emitter entities that are physically releasing air pollutant emissions, like the cars everyone drives.
That's part of it.
EIEIO also tracks intermediate uses. Intermediate uses are purchases by businesses to produce something that they are selling, whereas end uses are purchases or activities for reasons other than producing something to be directly sold. For example, the purchase of electricity to heat a home is an end use, whereas the purchase of electricity to manufacture fertilizer is an intermediate use. But okay. Our analysis includes both the emissions caused by an end use itself, e.g. tailpipe emissions from driving a car, and the emissions from economic activities in support of the end use, e.g. emissions from the production of gasoline to fuel the car. The head bones connected to the neck bone. Okay. Okay.
Let me wrap this up in a bow for you.
Go ahead.
What they're suggesting is that white people, we use a lot more stuff that requires things to be burned, whether it's to heat your house, to move your car, whatever. We use a lot more of it. However, because we're white, we don't breathe as much of the pollution. I don't know how. They never explain that. They never explain how we don't breathe the pollution. But since there's so many more of us, we use a lot more of we use a lot more electricity, for instance. Like right now, I have my computer on. You have your computer on. Satsu has his computer on. There are 2/3 more white people using electricity to run our computers than the black person. See how that is? So you and me are causing more pollution, but Satsu is going to breathe in more of it.
So wait.
Yeah, go ahead.
Are they saying because the population of white people are larger?
Oh,
that's
no,
it?
They never actually state that. They just say whites are using more of this. We consume more, is what they say.
But
look, dude. It doesn't make sense.
So all of that complicated shit for basic math.
Yes. And by the way, this scenario, this EIEIO they've came up with can be used to look at all kinds of environmental impact.
Okay, I have a serious question.
Okay,
I have a serious question. Do you think there's a chance that this is a fake study?
You mean like all those fake ones that have been produced before?
Yes.
I
mean, EIEIO, really?
It crossed my mind, but
really?
Yeah, this was presented as a real thing.
Racist error. I just want to mark this now because these things tend to take like 3 or 4 months or something for it to be sussed out. If this is not already in some way, shape, or form already shown to be fake or something that was submitted to see if it would get through the peer review process like so many other things have, I want to at least mark it now my suspicions of the validity of this claim with there's a lot of math and graphs and quote unquote science all over there. If we hear that 3 months, 4 months down the line that this is all made up, I just want to mark it now that I was suspicious. That's all.
Backscan says, Scribe, would it be more or less funny if it were fake?
It would be okay for the future of academic peer review. It would be depressing. At the same time, it would be hilarious. If it were true, if somehow what they are saying is absolutely true, that somehow polluting all of the air in Los Angeles is more damaging to certain races' lungs than other races' lungs, isn't that kind of race realism?
Well, this goes back to something. No, maybe a year, 2 years ago now, we read a story about this, about how pollution is racist. I don't know if you remember that. God, I can't remember what the term is for it.
Well, there's environment like climate change is racist. We've heard that before. Or
yep.
Global warming is racist. We've heard that same. I mean, this is not an unfamiliar concept. This is the first time that I've seen somebody like narrow it down to a very specific thing that air pollution equates to a racist disparity.
Yeah, we read a story about this last night, and I have some questions about some of the other things they say. Like they say 100,000 people die a year from air pollution.
Okay.
I'm like, how do you quantify that? How do you decide that this is exactly what they died over? Unless it's something like, they died from inhaling smoke. That's a direct, okay, breathing is what killed them.
Sure.
But then when I got to the methodology, I'm like, wait. Your methodology is just who uses more stuff? Really? That's where I was like, Okay. This sounds interesting at best.
All right, let me try to get into a couple more stories here before we. And again, guys, after we get past YouTube time and everything, if we have a few extra minutes, we'll do a few more NSS news. This one comes from Necrosol. 5 arrested in scheme that hired people to take English proficiency exam on behalf of Chinese nationals seeking student visas. Boy, we're just cheating all over the place today, aren't we? Federal authorities this morning arrested 5 defendants linked to a scheme that helped Chinese nationals obtain student visas by hiring individuals who used fake Chinese passports to take an English proficiency test for the foreign students. The arrests were made pursuant to a 26-count indictment returned on Friday by a federal grand jury. The indictment charges the defendants with conspiring to use false passports, using false passports, and aggravated identity theft as part of the scheme to impersonate Chinese nationals who are required to take the test of English as a foreign language to obtain a student visa. That was all one sentence, guys. So there you go. Yeah, and all the defendants are either 23 or 24 years of age. What do they face? Let's see. The charge of using a false passport carries a maximum sentence of 10 years. Aggravated identity theft carries a mandatory consecutive 2-year sentence. Uh-oh. Yeah, good job, guys. Let's see. This one comes from Jack the motherfucking Cockring. Ocasio-Cortez tries to grill Wells Fargo CEO. He destroys her.
Yeah.
I hadn't heard about this. Socialist Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez tries to grill Wells Fargo CEO Timothy Sloan during a House Financial Services Committee hearing on Tuesday and ended up getting embarrassed. The hearing, held by Democrat Chairwoman Maxine Waters, was titled, quote, Holding Megabanks Accountable, an examination of Wells Fargo's pattern of consumer abuses, unquote. Now, Wells Fargo did do that whole 3 million fake account thing and all this other stuff. So they have done some shady shit. The Los Angeles Times reported, quote, Sloan was the first megabank chief executive whom Waters, an outspoken critic of Wells Fargo, summoned to appear before the House Financial Services Committee since she took over as its chairwoman in January following the midterm elections. Ocasio-Cortez used her time during the hearing to push her political agenda against immigrations and customs enforcement. What?
Yeah.
And against the fossil fuel industry. Quote, why was the bank involved in the caging of children and financing the caging of children to begin with? She asked. Quote, I don't know how to answer that question because we weren't, Sloan responded. Quote, so in finance, and then she cuts herself off. You were involved in debt financing in Core Civic and GEO Group, correct? Ocasio-Cortez responded. Quote, for a period of time, we were involved in financing one of the firms. We are not anymore, Sloan responded. I'm not familiar with the specific assertion you are making. We were not involved in that. It only got worse from there. Quote, should Wells Fargo be held responsible for the damages incurred by climate change due to the financing of fossil fuels and these projects? Ocasio-Cortez asked. Quote, I don't know how you'd calculate that, Congresswoman, Sloan responded. Quote, say from spills or when we have to reinvest in infrastructure building seawalls from the erosion of infrastructure or cleanups, wildfires, etc., Ocasio-Cortez said. Quote, related to that pipeline, Sloan responded, quote, I'm not aware that there's been any of what you've described that's occurred that's related to that pipeline, unquote. Growing frustrated, Ocasio-Cortez talked over Sloan as he finished answering her question, asking, quote, how about the cleans up from the leaks of the Dakota Access Pipeline, unquote. Quote, I'm not aware of the leaks associated with the Dakota Access Pipeline that you are describing, Sloan responded. Quote, so hypothetically, oh, dear Christ, if hypothetically there was a leak from the Dakota Access Pipeline, why shouldn't Wells Fargo pay for the cleanup of it since it paid for the construction of the pipeline itself? Quote, because we don't operate the pipeline, we provide financing to the company that's operating the pipeline.
She's an idiot, y'all.
My Christ.
That makes no sense. You gave them the money,
yeah,
but they built it. Like, you just gave them the money to do whatever task they were supposed to do. That's just like, it's so stupid.
That's like saying if you wreck your car, the bank who loaned you the money for it should be responsible for any damage you caused.
Right. What the fuck?
She's a moron, y'all.
All right. Let's see. Angry Wife, Illinois. Yeah, we talked about the kid that got tetanus and hospital bills were $800,000 for like a $10 shot he could have gotten. Let's see. De La Hazed.
De La Hazed.
Okay. Well, I mean, every other letter's capitalized. I don't know where the emphasis is supposed to go.
I get you.
Let's see. So let me read this one here if it comes up, and then we'll move on, guys. We'll come back to MSS News if we have some time. Government of Canada wants Canadians to practice clitoris stimulation.
I'm sorry?
So is the Canadian government now literally invading people's bedrooms? Okay. And this is the author talking. Well, that is a headline I never thought I would have to write, but it is 100% true. The Government of Canada newsroom shared a clitoris stimulation mobile game on its social media accounts called Clit Me.
Wow.
I'll read the tweet. Clit Me, closing the orgasm gap. Mobile interactive game by NFB UQAM Interactive School. Genou Possus, I can't read French, launching March 4th. According to the official Government of Canada statement, Clit Me was released to celebrate International Women's Day on March 8th. Quote, the experience aims to explode a number of myths about women's pleasure by giving users the opportunity to try out different motion techniques on their smartphones in an attempt to find out what makes their clitoris avatar happy. Along with the tweet, a video was launched by the National Film Board of Canada titled Draw Me a Penis to promote the game nationally. Each of the developers involved in the game's creation received a $1,000 grant from the government for their contribution. In the game, players practice stimulating an animated quote-unquote clitoris. Each level involves different motions to give the clitoris pleasure and is followed by informative statements about female orgasms.
So it's like a clit Tamagotchi?
Users are given the option to customize their clitoris avatar, including giving them different hats or changing the avatar's hairstyle. While the cartoon animation is likely intended to come across as cute, when combined with the pleasureful giggling emitted by the clitoris, it's just plain creepy. The game, released by the National Film Board of Canada and the Université du Québec à Montréal, was developed by the Jean Pousse Interactive School. Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Diesel Dave. I prefer to just ask her. Yeah.
So literal objectification.
Thank you, Okie Native. Wouldn't it be cheaper to buy everyone a hooker? I don't know. If they're only investing $1,000 grant or $2,000 to do different people, I don't know. Okay. Government-sponsored click games, everyone.
Do you ever have to wash it?
Do you think it's like, hey, Justin Trudeau, you need to know how to do this?
Could be.
Like this is the expectation that men just have no idea. Like, okay, everybody who needs this, you need this because you're all doing it wrong. So says whatever. I mean, if nothing else, this underlines the necessity, and I'm being completely serious here. Communicate with your partner. Whichever side of the equation you're on, communicate. What works? What doesn't? What do you like? What are they doing right? What are they doing wrong? Don't be too judgmental about it, especially if you're getting to know each other, but just get to know each other's bodies. Everybody's different. The same trick will not work on every person you come across just because it worked on the last one. Just so you know. Anyway. On to YouTube time, guys. Satsu, what are you working on?
I am currently working on my first vlog for my third channel. I got some footage for that today, me and Squishy messing around and doing some of the stuff that we needed to get done today. A couple more clips I want to add to it or whatever before that finally comes out, which will probably be in the next couple days. They've also added to OBS the app store that I was telling you guys about that I was using for Twitch, which allows you to custom make your own like little backgrounds and assets and stuff for your stream. which I've been working on since I got home because I've been waiting on that to come over for YouTube. It's only been for Twitch, but now I can finally use it on YouTube. So my stream interface is going to be completely different during the stream, so be on the lookout for that. Other than that, just kind of getting together some future content for all of my channels and trying to figure out exactly what I'm going to do as far as my new stream schedule is concerned, because I plan on streaming a lot more across all 3 of my channels. So I'm working on a schedule for that now. So a lot of stuff going on, guys. A lot of shit. So.
Okay. Thank you, old Grouchy Gamer. For Jack and Pepper, you're going to need it after tonight. Thank you, Grouchy. Monkey, what have you been up to?
We did our game stream last night. You said you would tell us if we were doing that tonight, Satsu.
Oh yeah, we can stream tonight.
Okay, and we'll be doing another one tonight over on 2 Cents Plus, playing Borderlands 2. We've been having a lot of fun with that. And then did my Monkey in the Morning, where I'm slowly turning Jack into me. He's been ranting hard the last 2 nights, and it's funny as fuck.
Oh my god.
It's great because Jack's usually just sitting there cracking jokes and stuff. But we've hit some subjects that piss him off, and it was funny. One of them was that story about the racist pollution. But yeah, so make sure you guys are checking that out when you can. Believe me, you don't have to watch it at 2 a.m. I understand that's a weird time, but it's always there for you. So make sure you check those out. They're awesome. Scribe, what have you been doing?
Well, Monkey, I finished drafting my next video. Well, actually, so I have one video that's already in progress. We already recorded the audio, and I have it basically ready to assemble. But I set that one aside because I found something more recent that caught my attention and is more media involved than it is social justice or that kind of stuff involved. So anyway, I finished drafting the script for that. Then I finished revising the script. And then I recorded the audio all today. I was very productive. So now I have 2 video projects basically at the same points for each. I'm going to start assembling the one I was just working on first. Given what my work week looks like, and given how complicated this one's going to be, at least as far as inserts and editing and stuff, might not have it out till Friday. I'm going to try see if I can get it out earlier than that, but at worst Friday. But that's all subject to change because of work stuff that is unknown to me right now. I find out more tomorrow. Aside from that, bit of a double preview. So not this next Sunday, but the Sunday after, the 24th, I believe it is. I have scheduled for the next Familiar with the Matter to be Eric Hammer, who will be giving a sort of counterpoint to Diesel Dave's long haul trucking interview, because Eric Hammer is also a long haul trucker, and he has his own perspective on things and has some things to, I guess, rebut in some of the things that Diesel Dave had to say. So that'll be 2 Sundays from now. And then tentatively, nebulously, the second week or so of April, not quite sure. It might not be a Sunday, still trying to figure that out with schedule. But I've had a proposal from Professor Chaos, a longtime viewer, to talk to me about security management, specifically mall security management. So for all you people out there curious about what mall cops do, so that's tentative. We'll see what happens, but that's a while off. Just wanted to give you guys a little preview. And just so you know, I'm open, no guarantees, but I'm open to people that have extensive experience in some interesting subject matter, either career or vocation or subject, whatever, anything. So if you have an idea for that, feel free to, zap me a note on Twitter and just say, hey, or, send me an email at scribelite3@gmail.com. I'm not going to guarantee that everybody who pitches me something will end up being on an interview, but hey, I'm open to plenty of ideas. Thank you again, Diesel Dave. I have a move that works every time. It's called the rodeo. Get her into doggy style and say, your BFF is tighter, and try to hold on for 8 seconds. Yeah, it's funny you bring up that notion, Dave, there was a guy in college that tried to freak me out with a story like that because he thought I was a complete normie, and he was trying to freak me out like I was some kind of like conservative whatever because I look relatively normal, especially back in college. And he like leans over the table in the cafeteria and he says, "Hey, you ever hear of rodeo sex?" And I sit there going like, "No." "So what you do is you get your friends hiding in the closet and you're with your girlfriend, right? And you're fucking her from behind. And then all the guys bust out and start cheering and you have to hold on for 8 seconds." And he's staring at me like he's waiting for me to react. And I lean over a little bit and I look at him. I say, "I'm the president of the BDSM club." What? That was fun. Anyone keeping tabs on these stories Scribe tells? I've told this story before. This is not what keeping tabs how? What are you talking about?
Because I've been keeping count on how many times you tell certain stories.
How many times have I told this story?
3.
This is my 3rd one.
Mm-hmm.
I've only heard that that's only the 2nd time I've ever heard that.
I think
I'm pretty sure it's 3 now.
I may have told it off air once.
Oh, yeah, that might be it.
Yeah, but how long ago did I tell that story?
Been a while. Yeah. When I tell stories, and most of the time I know I'm repeating myself, guys, I do. Sure. And I tell you, I've said this before, and then I tell my story again.
Yeah, and I think I said before I started the story, I think I've told this before, but...
Well, see, I like when Scribe does it, because when Scribe does it, it's you can tell he's told it before because it is exactly how he told it the previous time. When Monkey does it, that shit's all over the place.
Well, that's because my brain doesn't work very good. Scribe is professional where I am. Remember, guys, the least professional monkey on the internet.
Well, my past doesn't change all that much, so far as I know.
Yeah, Monkey can tell you the same story 3 times in 5 minutes, and it'll be different every time.
Now, hang on. The particulars will be the same.
The important shit will be the same.
My color commentary might change.
Let's see. So on to fuckatry time. I've just got a couple. I'll get that real quick. I'll just get the one out of the way. So the New York Times put a tweet out today in a story. It was a live stream, actually. It was kind of weird. It was a brief, like 20-minute live stream attached to a tweet, and the caption to it said, "Many parents in the U.S. are asking whether to vaccinate their kids as recent measles outbreaks plague schools. Leave your questions in the chat, and Pam Belloc will answer them live." And my response was, because this was taking place live as it was going on, I was at work. So I just said, the answer is yes. The answer is always yes when it comes to vaccinating your children. This is one of the few instances where saying, quote, "I mean, it's the current year," unquote, has a bit of validity. So I think that was all. Oh, and one more.
Before you move on from that, that should answer that question for parents, not raise it.
Yeah. This is a story. Oh God, I should bring this up for Deep Topic or something if the New York Times will allow me, which of course they won't. Well, anyway, the tweet from the New York Times is about a story. I wish I could read it right now, but I'll maybe later. The tweet says, "In New York, there is a growing movement to create new social spaces for people of color. What these spaces share, in addition to catering to people of color, is the privilege of connections." And I said, so racial segregation. Got it.
Yep.
Now, I want to read that story in more depth, but we'll see. Satsu, do you have any fuckatry?
I did see something. What was it? Is it Peele? The fucking dude in his the one that made that scary movie and shit.
Oh, Jordan Peele.
Jordan Peele, yeah. They said he held a showing of like something that they were working on, and it was like a secret showing, and he only invited Black reporters, and the only people that were able to talk about it or speak about it were other Black people. And they said, "This is just fucking awesome. Like, I'm so glad that this happened. I'm so glad that people are doing stuff like this." And I was looking in there at the comments, and shockingly enough, it was kind of a mixed bag. There were some people like, "Yeah, that's that's kind of weird. Like, what would you do if white people held their movie or made a movie and they were just like, yeah, only white reporters, sorry. And the common answer to that was, well, there's no disparity against them, so there's no reason to do that. And it's like, so what? There doesn't need to be a disparity if they just decided to do so, because they're not right now. Even though you claim that that is what they're doing, they're not. There is no place where reporters congregate where they say no blacks or brown people allowed. It happens nowhere. So if it happened, you should be fine with it, right? Because they're just trying to get their opinions from people who they want them from. And they're like, no, it would be wrong. And these are the reasons why. These are two completely separate and different situations. And I'm just like, it is amazing to me how many people have a firm stance against a certain thing, but also fully support it at the same time, where they're just like, I don't like this thing. It is completely wrong. Anybody who does it is a piece of shit. Unless these certain conditions are met, then I'm all for it. I 100% back this thing that I hate so very much. And, you know, this type of shit we see all the time or whatever. But it just kind of annoyed me, just like the usual shit, because people are just like, it's so awesome that he had this black only thing and only black reporters were able to see it. And we love us. And this is the type of stuff we need more of. And I'm like, okay, well, what if the reverse happened? Like, what if the reverse started to happen? And what if that became the common thing? Like, okay, well, you guys got your exclusive thing. We're inviting you over here and you don't want to be here. Fine. Okay, so this is only for us. And I'm like, no, that's wrong. You have to let us in too. It's like, fuck you. Fuck you right in the face, you fucking piece of shit. Yeah. I don't like bigots, but I definitely don't like fucking bigots masquerading as good people. I definitely hate those motherfuckers.
It is amazing how bigotry has become acceptable in certain manners, and not just racism and sexism.
Okay, all right. Okay. I'm really sensitive to this monkey.
I was getting there. Yeah, it's amazing because like having a white only space, everybody be like, ooh, no. But if you throw coloreds in one space and only them, oops, people of color, then it's okay. When we used to do that, it was horrible. You guys remember that?
Mm-hmm.
You had the colored only water fountains. And we heard, you know, if Trump gets elected, we're going to get back to that. And apparently we are. But it's not going to be his doing. It's going to be the progressive left.
Yeah.
And what the fuck are y'all? Oh, God, they're all over the place.
It annoys me to no end. It makes me so mad, man. Just every time I see that shit, it just pisses me off because I'm like, now, like forever, I just cannot take activists serious because 98% of them are full of shit. Like they will completely 100% without hesitation do the thing that they are actively telling you that's horrible, that's happening to them, and be proud of it and justify it. So I'm just like, well, okay, yeah, you may be facing some type of disparaging shit. And you want to, you know, we're advocating for inclusive spaces, but none of these people are allowed in. What the fuck? I don't know, man.
Okay, Monkey, what have you got?
Well, I have two, and I'm going to do the first one because it's funnier. Ilhan Omar has suggested President Trump is not human. We talked briefly the other day about how she compared Trump to... She didn't say his name, but we all know she was talking about Obama. How he was just more polished than Trump.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody asked her, a Fox News reporter asked her Monday if Obama was the same as Trump. And she said, absolutely not. That is silly to even equate the two. One is human and one is really not. And then, when she was pushed on this, she eventually went to Twitter to tell everybody that her words had been twisted when she blasted Obama the other day. She said this, exhibit A of how reporters distort words. I'm an Obama fan. I was saying how Trump is different from Obama and why we should always focus on policy, not politics. This is why I always tape my interviews. She deleted this tweet because that actually confirms what she was saying the original time.
Yeah.
That, bitch, all you said that the difference was one had a good smile and was more polished. And now you're like, well, he's not even human. Well, if you're talking about the policies, they're not that different. So own up to what you said, bitch. Oh God, what is it with these new congresswomen, man? Shut up. You keep getting yourselves in trouble because you're stupid. You're stupid or you're just too goddamn pussified to say what you actually mean. And when you get called on it, you're like, oh, that's not what I meant. Look, you don't like Jews and you think Obama had bad policies. That's just life. Stop trying to hide it. Yeah, I just thought that was funny how she accidentally outed herself again for not liking Obama's policy. But she's a fan, y'all. You know why? Because she's a woman. He's got that smile, and that's why their vote shouldn't count. Moving on. I saw this as the show started because as I had just woke up. I woke up at 8:40 tonight. So I was scrolling through Twitter as we were doing the opening of the show, and I saw Sofane has been doxxed.
Oh. Do you know by who?
I don't know by who. I haven't dug into this real deep. I sent a message out to him. Tell him, dude, sorry I heard this, or sorry this happened to you. I know a lot of people out there don't like Fane, and he's been pushing a lot of buttons. But to dox somebody over shit they said on Twitter, dude, what kind of piece of shit do you have to be? What kind of cowardly fuck to try to ruin somebody's life because you didn't like what they said on fucking Twitter? I mean, this goes all the time. We've seen this, people digging up stuff from people's past to try to ruin it. Okay, that's public, celebrities and stuff. They said these things out loud. This is a guy who, for obvious reasons, because he has a business that he's running and doesn't want it to be run into the ground because some shit stain can't take a little fucking bants on the internet, is going to try to ruin his fucking life over it. Get fucked. I hope something bad happens to you. Whoever did this, I hope something really bad happens to you. And if you are that kind of pussy, if you are that fucking sensitive that you can't take a differing view to the point where you have to run out and try to find out who they are and release it to the world, get the fuck off the internet, you cowardly piece of shit. You don't belong here. You belong back in mommy's basement, sucking on her little titty to eat. Because you're a big ass, as my friend Pat would say, you're a titty baby. Fuck off.
Yeah, I don't support that shit at all. And me, like I said, y'all know the fucking issues that I've had with Fane, even though, like I said, I don't know him that much to fucking make any calls on him either way, but that's some bitch made shit, man. Don't do that shit.
I can't understand getting that upset over somebody disagreeing with you on fucking Twitter.
Yeah, man, it's fucking stupid.
Okay. Let's see. So I want to read. Are you done, Monkey?
Well, in chat, they're wanting us to bring up the Toasted Network thing, or is that Toasted?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know that. Well, I don't know if you guys know more about it than I do. I only know the bits and pieces that I spotted on Twitter today. I'm not well versed in all the details to really speak on it knowledgeably.
Well, this happened the other morning on my show. We both got some donations from Toasted, and she did what we do. We read out the tweets or the donations, and apparently he's reversed the charges on that. That's fucked up. We read the especially on that show, we read the comments all the time. If you're on this show, we have a full half fucking hour where you can ask anything you want. And you don't have to donate. Don't do that just to get some attention to yourself and then turn around and take it away. We're talking about a total, I believe, of $3 here. Mm-hmm. But it's the thought. Don't fucking do it. Why?
Did he say why? Because I thought I saw a comment from him under there or whatever where like he was trying to explain the situation, but I didn't quite understand what was going on because
I missed that part if he did.
Yeah, because he said something like his dad or something was like looking at his PayPal account or some shit, and he went in and was like asking him about some purchases that he made, and I think his dad did it or some shit. Because I don't like he's donated to us numerous times and he's never done it to us. So I'm like, I would like to hear the explanation of why the fuck you would do that. at the very least, because like Scribe said, I don't really know a lot about this stuff up front. And because he's donated to us so many times and hasn't done it, I'd like to hear at least an explanation.
Well, honestly, I don't have a Streamlabs or PayPal or anything else, so I don't know if you can. I'm assuming there is a way to claw back a super chat donation, but if that's ever happened to me, I've either never gotten a notice of it or bothered to look. So okay, Weebo, well, I'll send you the link real quick. But I don't want to dwell too much on this. I mean, if you,
if you want to do that, I understand. But the last tweet that I see here from him, he's answering her, and he says, "I think I gave all the names of the people I cheated." You don't have to do that. I mean, you get enough attention. You really do.
Well, I think Weebo demanded that of him.
Well, that's fine, but he's saying that. I mean, he used those words. So, and you're right, Satsu. I've never seen him do it to me, so I don't know why.
Yeah, you know what? I'm just and I know I'm not trying to stifle anybody. We were coming up on the end of the bottom of the hour. This is going to take forever to talk about, and it's a little contentious, and I don't know all the information. And I know Weebo's here, but I don't want to clog the show with too much of this stuff, honestly. So I'm sure Weebo has done a show on it or will be doing a show on it. So go check out Weebo's channel or check out her Twitter, where I think the whole saga is kind of laid out for everybody. I don't know. It's hard. It's hard. I don't want to bring drama, that kind of direct drama here, you know?
No, I understand, because I mean,
nothing against Weebo, nothing against anybody. It's just kind of like,
yeah, Toasted has supported us before, and I saw that, and apparently he's done it to other people. And dude, you don't have to do that. You just excuse me. Hold on a second. I'm sorry.
Okay. Monkey clear his throat.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I've been weather's changing and starting to drain again. I apologize, guys. But Toasted, I'm not. If you did this and you did it knowingly, don't do that. You don't have to. There's plenty of ways to get attention. Just showing up and asking questions, man. It happened. You were there. You could have just asked the questions in chat. We were answering them there. Yeah. You don't have to do that.
Yeah, we don't get to everybody's questions all the time. You know, obviously, you know, super chats become more visible and everything else. But you know, we got a big show. We got a big audience. I try to get as many questions in as I can during question time and MSS news, but you know, the temporal restrictions of reality sometimes just kind of cut people off versus others, and it's nothing personal, you know. So,
well, like I said on Monkey in the Morning, man, I answer questions from beginning to end if they catch my eye, and I read chat constantly on that one. Frankly, it's part of the format.
The format.
Sometimes it's how I keep the show going when I run out of shit to say.
Oh my god.
Believe it or not, guys, I run out of shit to say from time to time.
All right. Well, in that vein, so to speak, we'll start chat time just a couple minutes early. Guys, it is your time. If you have questions, comments, complaints, conspiracy theories, if you know of somebody who's paid somebody else to take your SATs for you, you might not want to say that publicly. But if you do, by all means, put in the chat now. If you have questions for us directly, please put plenty of chat marks after those. If you have statements you'd just like us to consider, please put plenty of statement marks after those. And remember, shortly after this stream over on 2 Cents Plus, Monkey and Satsu will be running around in Borderlands 2. I can't remember if you guys said there was a giveaway today or not.
Not tonight.
Not tonight. Okay. All right.
I need to address this in chat. Vortex says, there's no format, Monkey. Don't tell tales. Look. Not having a format is my format. I win.
Necrosol says Trump is a lizard man? ?
Reptilian.
Yes. The answer is yes. Peter Silakides is a 13. I have a question. What are your thoughts on the Toasted Network thing? Rewind the stream 7 minutes. You'll find out. Mundane Matt says, I'm so lost with what is going on here. I'm not lost so much as like I say, anyway, I'm not going to go into it anymore.
I just want to say, hi, Matt. How you doing, man? How's the baby?
Let's see. Nothing for you here says, I wouldn't even take your SATs. Oh, well. Pyrus Creed, what is under Tim Pool's beanie?
Male pattern baldness.
Oh!
No, it's true. I'm not being mean here. There's pictures of him out there without his hat on, and yeah.
Okay. Weebo Jones, I'll give her the floor here for a second. My concern was that I woke up to 3 consecutive claims against me and worried that my PayPal funds would be put on hold or terminated because the explanation was that he didn't receive items. Oh, yeah. Okay. So it could be perceived as some kind of like fraud or something.
Yeah, that you're not.
I see. Okay. Now that makes a bit more sense. Now, if that would, I would hope that wasn't the intent. Other than he had to give an answer as to why he was doing it. So okay, that makes a bit more sense.
Yeah, X amount of items of chargebacks on your PayPal account are like negative marks that can get your money held.
Okay, Weebo Jones says stuttering soliloquy was terminated last week for no reason by PayPal. So if I'm a tad skittish about that stuff, that's why. Okay, now that makes a lot more sense. That's less a personality conflict or something else going on than an actual like pragmatism.
Yeah, it had some real world applications. I mean,
yeah, I got it. Okay, that makes more sense now. Asian Hippie, are you ever going to do a Lords of the Night promo for Satsu? So I've got on my channel, I've got this little playlist of like ads and promos, and way back when I did a little promo for each of us, Monkey, myself, and SDA, and it was taking a sort of signature event from Stream Lore and making that a promo. Like the meatloaf thing was SDA's moment. Monkey getting his nipples twisted was his, and mine was the cereal is soup breakdown. So I guess the question is, either chat and or Satsu would have to point out a signature Satsu moment. We'd have to find it amongst all the streams, and then I'd have to clip it and make a promo.
Oh, God.
So I guess the question is, does Satsu thus far have a signature Satsu moment?
Falling asleep when he was snoring.
Oh, my God. Not anything but that.
Real quick, Mundane Matt says, you're having another baby, dude? Congratulations.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Wait. Sinatra says, Stelter is crying on Twitter right now. Brian Stelter's doing what?
He's upset because Tucker Carlson called him out, and Carlson's fans are all going at him. That's what I'm giggling at over here, because Stelter, he posted this out. Ever wonder what your @ replies would look like after being attacked by Tucker Carlson? Here's a peek. And one of them says, you look like a limp penis with eyes and a smirk.
Oh, Jesus.
Which isn't wrong. He does.
Oh, okay. Got to move on. Jack Gunsky, Scribe Light. Hey, Scribe, could you let chat know there will be a Quiplash and a movie discussion on 10 Cloverfield Lane on Jack Gunsky's channel after the stream? Well,
cool.
I just did, so there you go. My chat jumped. Frosted Glass, you see the Captain Marvel half in the bag, Scribe? I did. That was one of the first things I watched this morning. And yeah, I mean, it falls in line with a lot of what I'm hearing from a lot of people about it. I watched a complete plot hole breakdown by another YouTuber today that I posted on Twitter. I knew what was going on in the movie from watching the first trailer. I didn't imagine there would be anything in that trailer that would tell me anything I didn't already know ahead of Endgame. And all the spoilers I've gotten since then have just shown that I don't need to spend $8 or $9 or whatever to go see it. I didn't have any interest in it from the first trailer before all the politics started, so I don't feel like I'm missing anything. Thank you, Sanguine. Clip out a load of Satsu's birthday song whining for it.
Oh, yeah, that would be great.
Oh, my God. We'd have to find some good ones. I don't even know what those would be. Let's see.
I talked to Jack last night because he went and saw it yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And he said he begrudgingly said that Brie Larson actually wasn't that bad in the movie.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
I've heard varying things from she was completely miscast to she was to, she was okay. I don't know.
What he said was that the problems with her weren't her fault. They were like directing, script, that kind of shit.
Sure.
Also, a lot of people I heard who was giving her the benefit of the doubt and just saying it was like, well, her character is supposed to be like, military or whatever. So that's where they got to like the kind of wooden log thing from. They're just like, oh, well,
Well, yeah, it was either military or like the first part of the movie, she's been brainwashed. So it's kind of like she's been programmed and suppressing her emotions as part of the thing. But then I hear from people like, and at the moment in the movie where all that is supposed to fall away, she still acts wooden. So I don't know. Check your logic. If there was a crate that contained H.P. Lovecraft's Call of Cthulhu that hasn't been opened since 1929, would you open it? Fuck yeah. I mean, unless somebody told me that I could sell it at auction for $1 zillion or something. But Peter, Silak Hades 313. I always imagine Tim Pool being like Kyle from South Park, where he takes off his beanie, he has a giant orange afro.
A giant afro.
Necrosol asks, Renting Monkey, have you watched Reservoir Dogs yet?
No.
Okay. Pyrus Creed, in the Southern Hemisphere, where everything is backwards, is soup cereal? Monkey, you're the expert.
Is soup cereal? Yeah.
In the Southern Hemisphere.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Everywhere.
Ebony Williams, Satsu, have you seen the trailer for the new season of The Ancient Magnus Bride?
Oh, no, but if that new season is coming out, I am fucking pumped because that is one of my favorite anime to come out last year. It is fucking excellent. Watch it.
Mundane Matt says, the movie was more mediocre than anything else. I feel Larson will do better with a better script and better directors. I don't have anything against the character. The thing that bugs me the most is all the retconning in shoehorning her into existence. That kind of bugs me. Of any other, I mean, it could have been any character, but to say, oh, by the way, all this stuff that was pre-established in all these movies for 10 years, now we're going to explain half of it away with really lame retcons and things that are far less either dramatic or meaningful than we could have just left to the imagination of the audience. And also she's apparently going to be the ace in the hole that none of us ever knew about, who's been around the entire time.
That's the part that bothers me because you've killed Endgame for me, you ass.
Let's see. My chat jumped again, guys. Sorry. If you got questions that I've skipped or haven't mentioned yet, restate them. Mono Winter says, Lords of the Night, is there pie? Somewhere there's always pie.
Punch and pie.
Old Grouchy Gamer says, took my granddaughter to see the Lego Movie 2 today. Highly recommended. All right.
My problem with the Lego movies is that, and this was really true of Lego Batman, all of the funny shit is in the trailers.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen either one of them, so.
Oh, the Lego Batman movie's great, but all you got to do is watch one of the extended trailers and you get all the funny shit, so.
Gary Sandwith says, what are your thoughts on the Johnny Depp Amber Heard thing? Well, we talked about this before the stream started, actually, and I was only peripherally aware of the drama with Johnny Depp and him being sort of like, oh, he's a wife beater and all this other stuff. I still don't know if he is or he isn't, but now apparently the narrative or the story is from, again, I don't know exactly from where, their court documents or something, that she was the one who was actually physically abusing him, I guess, and now all these people are sort of virtue standing on, how dare you guys have ruined Johnny Depp's reputation and blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't know.
I did a little digging, and the best I can tell is that his lawyer came out and in an interview somewhere mentioned that she, under oath, said that this was all bullshit. I haven't seen the actual court transcripts.
Right.
But they said there's like 87 new videos that they found, a surveillance footage where it proves this. Again, I haven't seen it, so I don't know. But it's, in fairness to the people on Twitter who are doing the virtue standing here, most of them are beating themselves up too. So I will give them credit for that. They're like, I was wrong about Johnny Depp, and we owe him a huge apology. And to those people, and if this is true, yeah, you really fucking do. Because a lot of people, I will never watch Johnny Depp again.
Quinn the Angry, Scribe, which circle of hell would you want to go to if you had to? Like, which is the lesser of all the evils? I'd probably pick Limbo, because at least there I'm effectively not being as tortured as I would be in all the other ones. Have you read Dante's Inferno? Do you know what people go through in those different circles of hell? I mean, if there was one that I would be sent to more likely than not, it'd probably be Lust. But I wouldn't want to go to any of them. But of all of them, I'd pick Limbo because it's the least, well, in cosmically relative terms, it's probably the least worst of them, I guess.
I'd want to go to the 9th layer of hell so I can start digging and prove there's a 10th and become a hero in hell.
Right. Side note: there's this great. If you can find a copy of it, I recommend you find it. There's this great little anthology book called Dante's Disciples, and it's all these short stories about hell or damnation, also there's stuff from sci-fi authors and fantasy authors and such. There's a few really good stories in there that are twisted as fuck, either scary or humorous. If you can find a copy of that, it's not easy to find at this point. I'm sure it's probably out of print, but I've got it on my shelf and had for several years. Ebony Williams, Lords of the Night. If you could befriend any U.S. president, who would it be, and what would you do? Teddy Roosevelt, and have them tell me stories.
Donald Trump, and become friendly enough that he just throws millions at me.
There you go. Satsu.
Fucking Abraham Lincoln.
Okay. Cynical Lindsay, Scribe, do you read the Star Trek books? If so, what titles do you recommend? I do not. And that's the flat answer. I've never read a single Star Trek book. I've had friends that do, or have. I have a couple of friends who are like fanatics about that stuff. The only one that I've consistently seen on their shelves was the one called Imzadi.
Imzadi is great.
Okay, well, Monkey knows more than I do. Yeah, Imzadi is the one that I've seen consistently on people's shelves. I only know as much as I could probably remember off the cover, but that's the one I hear is really good. Oh, also there was one that I guess was written, but it's not canon, that describes the Romulan Star Empire and creates this whole mythology around them that was effectively rejected as not canon, but that people have told me was excellent. I don't know what that was called, though.
The two must-reads, Imzadi and Probe. Probe is the events after Star Trek 4. Mm-hmm. Where they follow the probe and find out what that shit was all about. So those are two that I would definitely recommend.
Let's see. Pirates Creed. Any of you guys played Devil May Cry 5? I have not.
No, not interested in the series.
I want to play it really bad. I just don't have the money to get it. But I really loved the Devil May Cry for a while, but they just got stale for me. But this one, I hear it's fucking excellent. So,
Quinn the Angry asks, Scribe Light, have you seen The Yellow Sign? Yes. That's all you need to know. And if you guys don't know what that means, do your Lovecraft research or your Hastur research or your, was it Chamberlain? I think. Either way. Let's see. Richard Art, Scribelight, have you guys watched The Umbrella Academy? I have not.
No, I've seen some trailers to it, and I was like very passively like, yeah, and then that was it.
Yeah, for what I recall of the trailers, it's like, okay, so this is, I know it's based on a comic book, but the trailers for the actual show, I thought, so this is kind of a pretentious version of the X-Men, sort of, kind of, I don't know. Suicide Grunts America, Scribelight, favorite giant monster. Favorite giant monster.
King Kong. But he ain't got shit on me, yo.
Probably Cthulhu. I mean, if I had to say, I mean, as far as like giant monster I've seen the most of, it's probably Godzilla, but there's more mythos behind Cthulhu that I like. Do you have a giant monster favorite, Satsu?
No.
Oh, sorry, no. Evangelion. Well, I don't know, some of the big weird things. I'm sure there was a giant monster from one of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers episodes that I thought was a cool costume, but I wouldn't remember what it is. Let's see. Frosted Glass, what Marvel character would you least want to join the MCU?
Captain Marvel.
Yeah. Least. Oh God. Probably the Jackal. The clone saga with Spider-Man made me hate the Jackal. The concept in the original telling was kind of cool-ish, but I would never want to see that character brought into the MCU. Just not because they're like a game-breaking or universe-breaking monster or villain or something. Just because I loathe that character and the sentimental I guess the psychological attachment I have to him with the whole clone saga.
Real quick, several times I've been told that Crowder did a follow up with the girl from Change My Mind. I saw that you've said that, and somebody linked it to me. I will watch it when I get a chance.
Asian Hippie says, "Have you seen Suspiria, Scribe Light? I saw the original many years ago. Fucked up movie. Have not seen the remake. I don't usually go see remakes of classic movies unless somebody really gives me a reason to. I mean, I have before. Obviously, I once saw like True Grit, things like that. And I when I was younger and didn't know any better, I did go see Psycho, which much to my regret. But yeah, so I've heard the new Suspiria is okay. I know that Red Letter Media is doing a review of the remake soon, so I might watch that, and if I get inspired, maybe I'll take a look. Let's see. Devil Fruit Zero, Scribelight. If I were to get codes from a humble bundle, would Monkey or Satsu take the codes for games I already had just for future reference? I don't know. Would you?
What happened?
He wants to know if he gets Humble Bundle codes, if we'll take them.
Yeah, sure. I'm always down to give away more games.
Jean says, Ranting Monkey, is AOC a clone of Anita Sarkeesian?
No, Anita's smarter than AOC by a lot.
I was about to say, Anita, she may be talking nonsense a lot of the time, but she's not talking lunacy. Let's see if that makes any sense.
She at least knows her talking points. AOC doesn't. I mean...
Yeah. Peter Silak 313. What's the deal with Donnie Darko? A movie that has a very well thought out lore behind it that is very divisive amongst movie watchers as either stupid or really deep and philosophical. It all depends. I enjoyed its weirdness and its use of music and everything. I know a lot of people were not fans of it. Definitely don't see the direct-to-video sequel S. Darko. That is a waste of goddamn time.
My boys both love Donnie Darko, and they're like, "You got to watch it, Dad." So I watched it, and it's an okay movie. Heavy on the artistic side, but a decent movie.
John says, Scribelight, are you going to see the new Pet Sematary movie? Probably not. The original... just my memories of the original still freak me out, and honestly, I don't think John Lithgow can outdo Fred Gwynn. Fred Gwynn in that original movie was just so, he brings that sort of like gentle grandfatherly thing to it all, and his accent was perfect for the setting, and I don't think anything can sort of replace that. That's kind of a memory in my head, because I read the book when I was a kid before I saw the movie. And when I saw the movie, obviously the movie takes liberties and consolidates things, but I could never imagine those characters any different than they were portrayed in that movie at this point,
Have you seen the trailer?
Yes, I've seen the trailer. Or I didn't even one of them at least. I
didn't even realize they were redoing it, but they had the famous lines from it, some things are better left dead.
Yes.
Yeah. Look, I love John Lithgow, but that part belongs to Herman Munster.
Yeah. When I heard John Lithgow deliver that line, I'm like, no. Fred Gwynn, with his Mainer accent saying that, just it sells that whole concept. Like him just saying that one line is like, abandon all hope, ye who enter here, for the whole movie, and it's just perfect. And you can't redo that.
Yeah, maybe if Lithgow had done it first, it wouldn't have been so bad. But he just doesn't have that. He's missing the southern draw part of it. Yeah.
James Colley, Scribelight, do you think that Batman Hush could and should be made as a palate cleanser for the DCU? I mean, Matt Reeves, who's doing the next Batman movie, might prove me wrong, but honestly, I wouldn't trust any classic Batman storyline with anybody at Warner Brothers right now. Okay, unless or until they come up with their own Kevin Feige, who's like manning things and they really have some structure to it, even if they're not telling the directors what to do, that they actually have people who are passionate about the material first and foremost. I wouldn't give them any more material, classic or trust them with classic storylines. Thank you, Cryptic. What do you call a dog that's into S&M? A subwoofer.
That's a good one. I like that.
Jean says, did everyone die in the original? I'm not going to Pet Cemetery. Well, maybe. It depends on how you interpret the very end, I guess. Nothing free here says, saw it when I was 4.
Jesus.
Good God. Took years to watch it again and still just nope. Okay, the original Pet Cemetery, still fucking tragic, creepy, uncomfortable movie. Yeah. Let's see, Ebony Williams, Lords of the Night. If you could create your own crest, what would it look like? Oh, well, mine would have to have like that light bulb pen cane that Grisella designed for my comic book cover. That would have to be part of it. A bottle of a can of Dr. Pepper and a bottle of Jack Daniels on the coat of arms. And I'm sure we'd have to work a plunger in there. So maybe like a plunger crossed with the walking stick behind the shield, and on the shield have like the little symbols of like Jack Daniels with that scrolling sort of scrolling design that the Jack Daniels bottle has around a little curly Q white lines. Yeah. Anyway, what about you guys?
Mine would have the Horde symbol with the Charger lightning bolt going through it, and a cute little monkey.
Satsu.
2 rusty pennies.
and now that we've all described that, Jordan 250 and or Grisella is going to be on the case, I imagine, in short order. Let's see. Did I miss any other questions? I probably did.
I just saw something on Twitter that grossed me out.
Oh.
Okay.
It's a Wendy's soda with a hint of ketchup. Is that real?
Oh. Did you see that they're doing and I know people have said, oh, you don't like cream soda or something, or they're doing a orange cream Coke, orange and vanilla Coca-Cola or something?
That sounds good, actually.
I saw that, was like, bleh.
Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah, I guess maybe some people like it. Dark Lyle, what movie, which has yet to have the remake wand point at it, would you like to not have a remake of? So what movie should never have a remake? Doctor Strangelove, first one that comes to mind. Hunt for Red October, definitely. There's a lot that are just like practically perfect as they are. Memento, which they are doing a remake of. Fuck them. Oh God. Yeah. Man, do you guys have any ideas?
No, I'm with you on that. Things like classics. We're talking remakes, right? Not sequels.
Yeah.
Casablanca. Do not ever fucking touch that movie.
Oh, they already did. Barbed wire. Barbed wire.
If they use the name.
Okay.
An Officer and a Gentleman, my favorite movie. Don't touch it. The Hunt for Red October. I mean, there's some movies out there that were just made perfect the first time. Leave them the fuck alone. And those are the ones that they're going to come in and eventually do.
Damn it, Chadwick says, what do you dislike about the new Hellboy movie trailers? Okay, well, I put it on the deal. Okay, here's my short version. The Hellboy makeup looks like quality cosplay, but it looks like cosplay. It doesn't look like a character. It looks like someone wearing facial appliances.
Yep.
The jokes do not land at all. The one-liners are flat and unfunny. The trailer, the most recent trailer, tells me that not only this movie is an origin story, it is also an end of the world story. And you don't do both of those in the same film. You work up to that big thing. Okay, you have to have at least 1 or 2 movies in your franchise to earn that amount. Because in this instance, you're going to have too much to cover in too little real estate of a 2-hour movie, and the whole thing looks bad. I don't know how else to put it. It just looks bad.
For me, it's the humor part. Their jokes they miss every fucking time, and they highlighted that.
Yeah.
So this is the best parts of their jokes and stuff, and they just missed every fucking time. The timing is horrible.
Yeah, I mean, the trailer usually has, if not all, most of the good catch moments, or at least indications thereof, of the film. And like the one today, he's being held by the evil queen lady or something, and she's like, you will be my king. And he says, no, because your breath smells bad or something. So it's just like, what? No, no, go away, go away. Weebo Jones says, what are we talking about? I had to go get food. Well, we were talking about the Hellboy, what we thought of the Hellboy trailer so far. So, Devil Fruit Zero, Scribe Light, what number do you think Toy Story will end on with 4 on the horizon? I think this is, I would assume this is it, although God knows there may be spin-offs. I don't know how many more they can actually produce and still get the same emotional reaction as the last 2. So
it'll depend on how well this one does.
That's true, too. And this makes $1 zillion billion. You'll probably have another one. Let's see. Cynical Lindsay says, I love David Harbour as Chief Hopper, but I can't buy him as Hellboy. Yeah, no, he's great in Stranger Things, the first season. Second season, I don't know what the fuck they were doing. They ran out of ideas for season 2. But first season, yeah, the character they started to establish in season 1 of Stranger Things was great. And in the times that I've seen David Harbour previous to that, I kind of liked him. He was usually like a side character or something. But Hellboy? No. Ron Perlman owns that role, and I'm sorry, anybody else is just an imposter. Let's see. 2 cents plus. Have you seen the Simpsons movie? Says John.
A while ago. I don't even remember what it was about, but I know I've seen it.
The town of Springfield gets locked down by the government because they're way over polluted.
Yeah.
I love the Simpsons movie.
That's funny. I remember that.
James Colley, am I the only one who thinks Cry Baby was a good movie and shouldn't be remade?
Oh God,
Cry with Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp.
Yeah. My sister loves Cry Baby from the olden days. I don't think it will ever be remade, so you're probably safe. Sanguine says, what is the one bad movie that had a hell of a lot of potential, so it should get a remake? Mars Attacks. I want Mars Attacks to be remade as the sci-fi horror movie that it should have been. If you look at the comic book version of Mars Attacks from the late 90s, and the design of the characters there, where they still retain the big brain shape and everything, but they look menacing and not goofy. That version and the horrors of war that were the theme of the original card series, that would make a great movie, I think, if done right in the right hands. But what was done with Mars Attacks by Tim Burton, I thought was a travesty. That's my opinion.
The entire Resident Evil series.
There you go.
Every single one of them, just as a whole package, just redo.
Any of the movies that have been done about 80s TV shows, redo them in the style of the TV show. We talked about this the other night on my show. The only one that held its style was Miami Vice.
Oh God, that was so bad though.
It was, but at least they held. I mean, it was the same.
It was the same guy that directed or created that, Michael Mann. Yeah. I mean, so that there was that. He had that carryover, but it was such a bad movie though.
But if you look at things like 21 Jump Street, when they announced it, I'm like, cool, that could be a really good movie if they did it the way the show was done.
And then it was a comedy.
And it was a comedy instead. Like, fuck. Yeah, any of those.
You know what they should do in that frame of mind? I think they could make a really great movie out of Cagney and Lacey.
Yeah.
If they got the right actresses and they didn't goof it up, but played it like a drama, they could do that right.
Yeah, they could do that with. I mean, all of and Dukes of Hazzard could have been a really good movie, and it would have been a big movie if they'd done it right.
Right.
But instead, they made it a fucking joke.
Let's see. Attack Alpaca. Thoughts on Waterworld? It's not as bad as they say. It's just that it's such an anomaly for how much of a failure it was financially. Because there's some interesting ideas in that movie. It turns into a really dumb action movie, but then that's kind of what it was supposed to be. So I don't hate it, although the story behind its creation and the behind the scenes insanity is a far more interesting story than the movie itself. But with that, guys, by the time we finish this, we'll be at the top of the hour and thus the end of the show. So everybody, thank you so much for coming out, as you guys always do. You guys are and forever will be the best audience on the internet, if not the entire planet. Remember, over on 2 Cents Plus, shortly after this, Monkey and Satsu will be running around in Borderlands 2, killing stuff for your entertainment. Per usual, tomorrow night, Wednesday, the show will be on Monkey's channel at the usual time. Moderators, thanks for keeping an eye on things, even though our audience is the best behaved in the world, in relative terms. Everyone who donated, thank you so much for your generosity. I really do appreciate it, and most of it will go into horrible chemicals that I'll put into my body, mostly Dr. Pepper and Jack Daniels. And aside from that, I guess that's it, unless I'm missing something.
Oh, sounds like everything to me.
Okay, well, with silence is the answer. Monkey, Satsu, thank you for joining me as always.
Uh-huh.
And everyone, your lives make us sad, and we will see you tomorrow.
Bye-bye, everybody. Satsu, say bye.
Say bye, Squishy.
Bye, Squishy. Hi, Squish.
Bye, Squishy.
Say bye, Squeetus. Bye. Jesus Christ. Ooh. Okay. Today's secret word is hormonal.
Uh-oh.
That is the word the finger landed on, which that sounds bad.